comfortable. We were sitting out on the bleachers. It was hotter than hot, you know. I don't blame her for leaving, you know, but there's been plenty of other times that uh, she could have. Well, and he said, and the cost of all these things, uh, who paid all this? I said I did. And so he told the judge, uh, it's not just these things. Um, Carol, did you buy his class ring? Yes. What about senior pictures? Yes. Cap and gown. Announcements. Yes. Yes, I know. But, I mean, he did a pretty dang good job, you know, bringing up all this stuff. And, of course, a lot of the paperwork I had already and gave to him, you know. And he asked me, he said, well, do you remember the allegations that your house was, whatever they call it? Yeah, eminent domain. And I said, yes. He said, is it? I said, no. And he said, have they called and made you an offer? I said, no. And have they told you to be out by a certain time? I said, no. And he said, around the corner from you, do you know somebody that lives there? I said, my daughter. He said, so if you ran into some problems and you needed help with Matt, would she be available? And I said, yes. And then he asked one time if hold on a minute, it just went. Oh, so if Matt is not with you, does he need someone to be with him? And I said, Matt and I are together 24/7. I said, we don't, we're never apart. And so, no. But I said, we're never apart. I don't leave him anywhere or go anywhere without him. And yeah, there's nowhere to go. And so, I know when I was talking to Brent Deckert, I said, I don't allow people in my home. I said, we don't have people come in. We don't go anywhere. And so later Mark brought up and he said, so I assume you haven't caught COVID? And I said, no, we have not. We do everything in the world to keep from catching it. You know? So he figured that out, you know. And Brent asked Jody about Matt seeing his dad. And she said, no, she didn't want him to be around his dad. And he brought up about the charges and blah, blah, blah. And so then he proceeded to ask me. So Jody was talking about Stephen Decker. Is this your son? I said, yes. Did you raise your son? Yes. And boy, oh boy, Mark Dabrowski jumped right in on that one, you know. I know where you're going with this, and that. You know. So that was kind of struck from the record. And later on, when he was interviewing me, I don't think you call it interviewing, but anyhow, asking me questions. He said, it was brought up about you raising your son. And I said, yes. He said, did you or did you not raise your son to view and do things of pornography? I said, I did not. So he said, well, I just wanted to clarify that. And so then, so when they were talking about, he was trying to determine how long Steve was out of Matt's life. And maybe I already told you this, why he did not make any contact with Matt when he got out until no, I can't say that. But he said, I said, well, Steve's probation officer told him she felt it was best. He wanted to know why he didn't file any kind of papers to see him, and he said, well, that's not what I said, but I said she told him stay away from her and just wait until Matt turns 18. It's in the best interest for you. And I said, because Jolie's fallen a little temper. And oh yes, I was asked several times if I had ever seen or heard her. They asked me what went on with the phone conversations on July 4th, and could I hear what was being said? And I said yes. And he asked me to say what she said, and I said, well, she told him to get back home, and she gave him 15 minutes to get his butt back home. And he said, and what happened then? I said, Matt hung up on her. And he said, then what? And I said, she called back again. He said, and what did he do that time? I said, he blocked her. And they were asking me, why I hadn't had Matt to reach out to her, and I said, that's his call. And they said, well, but well, wait just a minute before I lose my train of thought. Then Mark said, I assume you haven't changed your phone number since last July.